and Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 3000. Rotate.
All right. Test 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we got to cut it down. We got to go early, chat. We are on a time constraint. So welcome in to the second stream. We're doing a little freight dog flying this evening. Now, you will notice that Vodka just trolled me. I was going to troll you with a Lear 35. There she is. There's our baby right there. F406, F404, F406 Caravan 2. So I saw this airplane get announced, and I guess y'all brought it. Actually, no, you guys brought it up to me. I saw the release date, and then I was very curious about this aircraft for several reasons. One, I'm a freight dog at heart. This is where I cut my teeth in aviation, flying freight, single pilot night ops, turboprops, pistons, all that stuff, fly-by-night flying. So any freighter or prop that gets released, I am interested in. So I was particularly interested in this Caravan 2, particularly because it's about as close as I will ever get to a Beech 99 airliner. Those of you that know the Beech 99 airliner, if you just Google it right now, you'll see the similarities. We got the twin PT6s, the short stack, we got the V-tail. The nose is probably the most notable difference. Now the 99's nose is really long and pointy. This is more like the Conquest nose. So it's a very unique looking airplane, and I'm drawn to it for I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it reminds me of the 99 so much, or if just because of the way it looks. I don't know. I like it. I'm drawn to it, and I really want to put it through its paces. Now, this is an early access version of the airplane. I don't believe it's fully released just yet. Any Builds was kind enough to send me a copy so we can do a little review flight here on stream. Now, there are a couple little things I've noticed. I've only done a handful of takeoffs and landings because just trying to get my controls all bound up. But there's a couple things I've noticed that hopefully can maybe get ironed out in some release patches or patches down the line. What I will say, though, if the too long didn't watch version of this stream is pretty much going to come down to, I think we have a lot of potential here. I think if they can iron out just a couple little bugs here and there, this will actually be a really nice flying airplane in the sim. Now, what also has me very excited is that this is going to be fully career mode compatible with Microsoft 2024. We have been having fun in career mode. We haven't fired career mode up in quite some time, however, just because we've been busy doing other things. But this airplane is going to be career mode compatible, which we desperately need a twin PT6 aircraft that can fly a little bit faster than our Caravan, has a little bit better performance. So that is what I'm really excited for. We'll do just a little bit of a walk around here. I don't believe you can open any of these latches yet. Like there's no external opening of the latches and stuff here in walk around mode. And also one thing to keep in mind, this airplane is going to be targeting the users that use a default sim. Mostly, you want to be in career mode, and maybe I don't know if it's going to be on Xbox. I would imagine it's going to be compatible with Xbox if it's going to be for career mode. So it's not black square. You can't expect the black square levels of detail and realism. It's not their A2A simulations. This is not really the target audience of this aircraft. But this is an aircraft that I think, if you appreciate it, it will fit a little niche role, and you will have fun flying it. So let's fire it up and then give it a shot. So Starship needs to be career mode compatible. Oh my gosh, if the Starship was career mode compatible, it would be a good night, man. So the exterior is pretty darn good. I like it. Is the registration customizable? You know what? I didn't even try, Zach. I'm not sure if it is or not. I apologize. I didn't even try to customize that. But here's the cockpit. We're sitting here pretty much ultra settings, and there's a lot of different variants, which I like about this, which you can see is modeled in the back here. We got our cargo compartment. You can switch this to the sprayer and everything. Now there is some good details. Like, look, I like how the seats are worn out. The cockpit definitely has some wear marks on it, some wear and tear. It looks good. It's definitely passable. I wouldn't say it's the best textured cockpit I've seen in flight simulation, but it's definitely not the worst. I particularly love the fact that we have our six-pack instrument gauges here, and the double stack engine instruments going all the way down, which I really like. I do not believe you can remove the GPS, which unfortunately for me, it makes me a little bit sad, right? So yeah, you got the Azobo GTN, PMS, or TDS. You can do sim brief ID. I didn't do any sim brief on this flight. We're kind of doing our own flight planning. But so the only GPS that the smallest one is this Garmin here. I can't remove it, which, I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if you could remove the GPS altogether. I don't know if that could be added in a future update, but I understand that's, I think all of these airplanes have GPS in them right now, the real world counterparts, so maybe that's why they didn't. This is a very unique airplane. I didn't even really know about it until after I started watching videos on it, of course, after they released it. I'm like, what's this F406 all about? Turns out it's quite the workhorse abroad too. So the airplane is still actively flying. It does a ton of different mission types, so it's got a whole lot of customization for it. So from that aspect, is pretty cool. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and hide the yoke for right now. If I can find the click spot, there we go. We're going to hide the yoke. I'm going to turn my sounds all the way up. That aircraft you're asking, that Learjet, that's actually another Iveo member. We are an Iveo network for this flight. So if you're wondering where I'm not on VATSIM, I'm not on VATSIM. That's actually Iveo over there. Nice analog instruments. Yeah, I like the analog stuff. So they fly all science and survey missions. Yeah, it does science, survey. It does, the water stuff where it sprays, oil spill response, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's got quite the resume in terms of what it can do. So I'm open up these little windows here. Before we boot it up, I'll show you our flight plan this afternoon. We're going on a real-world freight route that I used to fly in multiple different airplanes. I flew it in 99s. I flew it in Piper Chieftains. We're going to be blasting off from Eureka, California, headed to the Fortuna VOR. And then from there, we're going to Mendocino, to SGD. I'm drawing a blank on that one. And then back into Hayward there. We'll go right over the bay, which should be pretty cool time of day right now. The way the clouds are set, we got a broken overcast. We can't quite squeak out VFR, so we are on an IFR flight plan. We'll set, see if we can't, get a good view there, about 10,000 feet or so. But any higher than that, we may, this isn't pressurized, right? So we may actually have issues with that. So we'll try to sneak by at 10 or 11,000. All right, so there's our flight plan. We'll program that manually in the GPS here once we get booted up. So let's just go ahead and run through it. Now, there is a checklist here that I did find, which I think is pretty nice. We'll go to checklist here and does all the things. And I wanted to see before engine starting, it says in this airplane, they start them in feather, which I think is very interesting. I'm not sure why they do that, but we'll start them in feather. So I don't know if that's normally a ground power thing, if that's a ground power, but we'll start in feather to kind of follow the checklist. That's really the major difference I noticed between this aircraft and some of the other PT6s I flew. So here we go. Let's go ahead and boot it up. We're going to turn the battery switch on. With the battery switch on, we'll get the nav light. We'll get the anti-collision light is on. Everything else is off. The spray bus is unpowered, all that. Parking brake is set. That's your green handle right there. We'll do a magic barrel ref. We'll reset the master caution. I don't know why. I guess we can't reset it. Can't reset that, but we've got associated lights there. That looks good. And move this yoke out of the way. Cabin heat, that looks good. That's off. Blowers are off. Trims are set. Fuel selectors are normal. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start it up. I do love starting the PT6. We are idle, feather, cutoff for this particular start. Now, this has a run. This is not a low idle or high idle. This is straight up a low idle, or excuse me, it's a run position. So you don't have to worry about low and high idle. We're going to go ahead and start engine 2 first. You guys tell me what you think about the sounds. I'll tell you what I think after that. So here we go. Let's start up number 2. We're going to move the ignition start switch to ignition start. I'll monitor our NG. There's the rise. 12%. The igniter sounds cut off. I'm not sure why. Fuel on. ITT rise. Props coming up. About 40% NG. We'll kill the starter. Starter off. And we're considered started. Now, I don't know how these engines are on the real aircraft. 40% NG seems awfully low. It seems to just kind of hang there at 40%. If I bring it out of feather, not much of a change. You'll see the prop starts to roll up. RPM coming up by 100. I don't know, but the NG is stuck in at 40%. Not sure if that's supposed to be or not. So we're stable. Engine 2 is started. Let's go ahead and get the right generator on. Right generator on. Right generator lights are out. And just to show you for testing, I'm actually going to start number 2 fully forward. So we're not using ground power anyway. So we're going to do a cross generator start for number 2. So ignition start on the left. RPM is rising. Come about 12-13%. Now notice this, if I don't put the mixture on, it seems like it starts up by itself. Look, I haven't moved the mixture. The sound kind of plays by itself until you get the mixture in, so it's kind of odd. Go ahead and start our cutout. Left generator's coming online. Let's close the doors, the windows rather. So I think it's just there's some discrepancy between the actual sounds that we're hearing versus the what the engine's actually doing, if that makes sense. But we got 2 good starts. We get the master avionics switch on. We get the avionics left and right. Fuel control heaters will stay off. Inert sepsos can stay off. We don't need any of that. Windshield heat, blah, blah, blah. Prop, governor, that's all good. Ignition's off. We'll get everything booted up here. It's definitely not Boris level. Now, yeah, it's not Boris level. And the inside sounds are okay. But what I actually really like, there is a high point, is the exterior sounds. Take a listen to these. I actually really like the exterior sounds of this aircraft. Give you a little throttle here, a little thrust. I like the way they sound on the outside. They're nice and throaty, bassy. All right, so let's throw in our flight plan and get airborne here. Flight plan departure. We're going from Kika, Fortuna VOR. Add waypoint, Mendocino. Skaggs Island? What is this GS? That's not it. SCG? SGD. Skaggs Island. There we go. Skaggs Island, that's what we want. And then from there, direct to England. Alright, that looks good. Bring you up on the map page. Bring that up, taxi out to this runway over here. We'll blast off over the water. We'll squawk 2,000. Learjet's ready to go. We're just about ready to go. We'll put the Magic Barrel ref on. Weather radar. Actually, put you on. Standby test on. I'm not sure. Get the brightness up on that. That looks good. Let's go ahead and hold the brakes. Brakes release. Taxi light. We'll follow the Learjet out. Eureka traffic radio check. Oh, I'm on wrong comm. I need to be on 22.8. And Eureka radio check.
5 by 5, but I did get this one.
I got you now, thanks. All right, let's go ahead and taxi on out. AJ Fernard, thanks for the $2 super chat. Plane to speak it for itself. Listen, man. Gotta just speak for itself, baby. I see torque gauge, I see GTN, now I'm happy. Yeah. Are you going to be taxiing out? Yeah, we'll follow you. Or do you want me to go first?
I just have to click the button.
So one thing that is kind of have to get used to is the ground idle here and the flight idle. Almost feel like there's no sound difference. So you really got to kind of be paying attention to your hardware position. You know, when we fly the turbine Duke, you can hear when we're going into the beta, and boom, you know, it makes it a lot easier to kind of gauge where you're at with your power setting. I don't know if these can be tweaked further on, you know, but we'll just keep an eye out. I mean, mostly it will roll by itself here at ground idle. You really don't need a whole lot of power anyway with these engines here on a light twin like this. All right, in the taxi out, we'll do a flight control check. Free and correct. I can't hide the yoke. Or, excuse me, I can't hide the EFB. I thought you could take the EFB off of the yoke. I can't figure out how to do that. Full flap, got a last minute reserve call to fly 73 from Juneau to Ketchikan. I guess the last crew called 6, scared of themselves on approach.
Lear,
I'll have to put them in live on the when we're in cruise. Canadian, thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted subs, dude. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, man. Cody, yeah, we're back on IVAO for this flight. This is IVAO Standard, slow. IVAO Standard. We're not going to do any full-blown run-ups or pre-takeoff checks for this particular flight. We're on a time constraint. I just want to do a normal flight here. I will fly it again. We'll do a little bit more in-depth. Maybe tomorrow evening we'll come back and revisit it. But I did do a couple basic stuff, feather checks and all that. They do appear to work. Feather arming. Now, I would like to be able to have that reverser kind of toggle into an axis. I might have to mess with my control bindings. There goes a Learjet blasting off. A Lear 35 out of Eureka. I don't know if this guy's going to get airborne. An eye on him. He better be light. He's going into the drink. Yep. That Learjet's not getting airborne. Oh, he did. Wow, I did not think he was going to make it out. That was a close one. All right, holding short here. Let's get all the rest of our lights on. Landing, taxi. Those are off. We'll go pitot static, heat, stall vane. 1, 2, 3 is on. Inert seps are off. No windshield alcohol required. Let's go ahead and set flaps for takeoff position. The flaps are very slow to come out, which is kind of a unique. Oh, wow, I just opened the door. Let's not do that in cruise. Latch that door. Flaps are very slow to come out. We are in flaps to takeoff position. Lights are set. I'm going to see if I can't set my CDI to nav GPS. We got to figure that out here. Where is that? That's one thing. Autopilot is off. CDI is in nav mode. I'm going to have to look at that here once we take the runway. See here real quick. All right, we're transponder 2000. There's our comms, comm 122.8. Am I missing something here? Sprayers on or off, autopilot. There's no CDI to switch to GPS, huh? Interesting. Well, in that case, let's tune in the VOR. Maybe I'll find it that way. Real quick, let's take a look at Fortuna. There's 1140. That's nav 2. Where be our nav 1? Comm. Top left button. That changes comm. Oh, nav 1. Gotta toggle it. There we go. 114 nothing. Now we got nav 1. Alright. Might as well throw the other one in there. After that Mendocino freak is 12.3. We'll get both of those set right now. Or standby anyway on nav 1. We'll have to look for the CDI button later. Alright, so we're going to make climbing left turn direct to Fortuna VOR. We'll spin the OBS around. Much faster with my Honeycomb Bravo. Alright, it's going to be a left crosswind departure. DME 1 is on. Let's go. Power set, lights are set, spool them up. Props are set. The ITT seems very forgiving. Power set. We'll do a reduced power takeoff. Very powerful engines. We're coming through 80. 100 knots, rotate. Positive rate, gear up, fly with. Making that left turn out here. No runway remaining, we're through 110, we'll get the flaps coming up. Sounds remind me of a 2-weight. Yeah, it does. Well, it's a Caravan 2, Mickey G. Caravan 2. Alright, we'll kind of pitch for that 140-ish to get that trim in there. I forget to do the auto feather too. We should have those on. We kind of got distracted with the hell, I don't know where it is. Screw it. It's not going to fail on us. Got distracted with a CDI, I think. We'll go direct to the center of the needle. Come back on the props now, 1900. Set 1350 torque, 1900 RPM. Climbing out, Eureka traffic, Amfly 202 out of 2,300. Last call southbound, Eureka. Get that hitch back up there for a 140. Yeah, it's basically a 404 with PT6s. Well, isn't that the Conquest? Now, I will note that the pitch attitudes of this airplane are much higher than I'm used to. Like, for landing, when you flare, you really got to kind of get some pitch in there. Maybe it's just the way the seating is. It might be an illusion with the way that with the length of the nose. Kind of gives you that optimal illusion. We'll just track to this VOR right now. But I mean, you see that? I mean, it's you're pitching up. Conquest was 421. There we go. Yeah, the 421. This has the 404 fuselage. Oh, okay. I got you. She's pretty happy there at 150. We'll monitor our torque. We'll see if we get any torque drop on this. That's one thing I haven't really checked. So we're pretty much 1350, 1900 RPM. ITTs look good. Keep hand flying it right now as we track to the VOR. 3.5 miles out. Yeah, this in an Amerifly livery with grease all over it would look sick. Now we're coming through 6,000 feet. I'll tell you what, let's take it up to about 8,000 and then we'll level off there. We'll see how we're doing. All right, let me see oops, that's not the one I wanted. I need to see the radial outbound from Fortuna to join the airway is going to be radial 136. So we're just going to dial in course line 136. Cut the corner here a little bit. 136. Is CDI under the transponder? I'll take a look at it, man. Under the transponder. No. No, this is like active GPS mode. I do not see a CDI switch. There's our to from flag flip in the turn. I mean, the sounds in cruise, I mean, it sounds like you're flying an unpressurized PT6. It's pretty loud and airy. Now, we don't have any noise canceling option, right? I'll have to do it manually over here. Let me turn my sim down, pretend we have some noise canceling on. All right, there's our to from flig. There's 8.5. I thought we were going to level at 8. I guess we're going east, so we should level at 9. So we'll level at 9,000 here since we're going eastbound. Here's 9,000 feet. We'll level it off. Leave the power set for right now. I would have expected to see a little bit of torque drop there. Didn't really get any torque drop on the climb out. Perhaps it's a little overpowered. But I don't know how... I would imagine the airplane is overpowered. I just don't know if it's that overpowered. We haven't touched the torque really at all. Alright, 9,000 feet. Get her trimmed out. Now, it does trim out pretty nice. I gotta tell you that. I mean, it does... I mean, the fun part, the hand flying part, especially with force feedback, it is pretty nice as far as hand flying goes, this configuration. Alright, old school autopilot situation here. So we're going to... Oh, I don't have my panel bound for that, do I? So we're going to go ahead and go autopilot. Our yaw dampener. Shoot. Flight director. Out. My thrust levers are kind of in the way. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I have a conflicting binding with this profile. Let me go autopilot switch. No, that's not it. This is my master AP, isn't it, right here? This is what it should tell me. No? Is it on the yoke? No. Autopilot yaw dampener, it would be in the up position. See, the AP off light is on, which would tell me that the autopilot is indeed off, right? So that's the off position. I can't click it up. Interesting. Let me see if it's a conflict with the yoke, perhaps. Let me disconnect the yoke. I should be able to flick that up. You see, I can flick it down to yaw dampener only. I should be able to flip that up. My route has me going to Reno first, then the arrival. Oh, really? You're gonna be arriving before we get halfway there. Well, I mean, I got it trimmed out all right. That's kind of peculiar, actually. I don't know why I can't get the autopilot to engage. Now, as far as the GPS is concerned, this is the default working tidal GPS. So I don't know if this is missing. Like, I can't bring up like a default nav page. Garmin home. So I wonder if I can't change the CDI there either. Bring our props back a little bit for cruise. Here comes 1700. 1713. ITT is set. One of the black switches on the Bravo. Well, I've got my Bravo. Yeah, all those switches are unbound. So, and if I click the autopilot disconnect here, it's not giving me the autopilot. Oh, you can hide the EFB. That's cool. There we go. There we go. I'll hide that. It's just weird that I can't get the autopilot on. You would think I'd be able to go altitude engage, flight director nav, unless something is not powered that needs to be powered. Like a master autopilot button. Because see, right here is where I would be engaging it. Glide slope, altitude, nav, heading, flight director. Jesse, what's up, man? You've followed my advice, turned off FPS counters, having a better experience? Excellent, man. Good to hear it, dude. Yeah, man. Turn off the counters. Fly your sim. If it's smooth, enjoy it. Only when it's not smooth that you need to start worrying about stuff. Trim switch. Like a master autopilot trim, perhaps. Let me double check. So we've got batteries, ignitions are set, fuel boosts are normal, props, propellers. Those are fuel. Nothing down there. Yep, autopilot on my yoke. Disconnecting. I'm pressing the switch there, nothing. It's not on, because if it was in heading mode, let's just see. I'm going to choose the Bravo. Well, that syncs it. That's cool. Autopilot master on the Bravo. I unbound all these. Well, that's really cool that pushed to sync. I didn't know that. All right. Outer knob doesn't switch the nav page. Let's see. No, that switches my frequencies. That switches my frequencies. Well, that is puzzling, actually. Never would I have thought I wouldn't be able to figure out where the autopilot trim switch is. These are all DME. I thought maybe it was like the Duke where it would have a master trim switch. What about over here? Now, this is just all environmentals. Not over here. It's not hidden over here. The master is on the switch panel, auto ATC. The master is on the switch panel you were at. We auto ATC. We auto AC. We auto AC? What? Hold on, let me look. Ignition, ignition. Fuel boost. Windshield. Avionics AC. That's it. That's it. We're nav mode. Thank you, 74 Romeo November. Okay, well that stuff works now. So now, hold on. So I gotta let's turn these off. Turn the modes off. Now we should be able to go up. To auto? No. Maybe it has to be in the down position? Have it in heading mode. Well, it's just weird because I can't get this to go up. Might have to divert to Hayward, chat. We gotta get the rest of our light. We don't need all the landing lights, taxi lights. We don't need that. So we just got the anti-collision nav is on. Yeah, it trims out. I mean, it trims out nice, Joe Lanes. That's what I'm saying. We're trimmed out good. Let me check. Let's check here. Engine starting. Avionics bus switches as required. So we have all of those. Avionics 2. It's this switch right here. This is where I should be able to put that up. Auto feather, trim all that. Takeoff, climb, power. Descent before landing. No? Oh, I forgot to show you guys. You have all these ground equipment, all that stuff too. I mean, it's got a bunch of cool little things in it there. We may have to do a diversion, chat. Try the other switch position. Yeah, I already did. We're in number 2. See? I'm trying, if I mouse wheel it up, it won't turn on. If I click it, it won't turn on. I can mouse wheel it down though, for yaw damp. I need to make a little adjustment to the left though. That is very strange. Let me try one more time with, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to disconnect all of my yoke stuff. Nope. That's definitely not the yoke. Oh, the master binding for the keyboard? That's another great suggestion. Let's try that. Let me reconnect my yoke here in case things go haywire. For CDI, try binding a key called toggle GPS drives nav 1 or use EFB to change it on the non-Azobo if you have the PMS TDS installed, or use the EFB to change it on the non-Azobo 650. All right, Kip, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't have the payware TDS PMS stuff enabled anymore. I don't have those on 2024. So I guess you need to bind toggle GPS drive nav 1. Thank you, Kip. I'm not too concerned about it on this particular flight, but I will definitely bind it because we're going to track the VOR here. But I'm more concerned about the autopilot. Let's try it. Let me look at the master keyboard binding. One of the most frustrating things, Azobo, you release sim update 2, right? But you never actually release a hot fix for the key binding problems. Come on, man. We're gonna flight director nav. I don't know what it would be under. Control N. General. Autopilot master Z. Wait, hold on. Toggle autopilot off. Shift Alt Z and then Alt Z for on. Shift Alt Z, turn it off. Doesn't appear to do anything. Activate your current leg. You're triggering. I'm sorry. Joe Planes is triggered. Sorry, buddy. Hold on. I gotta remember how to do it on this thing. I gotta go flight plan. Where are we at? We're going and then Mendocino. I can't activate leg, dude. Let's just go direct there. How about that? I can't activate leg on this on the standard one. This isn't the payware one. Gonna have to just deal with it, my man. You're gonna have to deal with the default GPS. That's why I'd much rather have just the default 530. The default 530, I think, is really good. How the Learjet departed Eureka. You still on, Freak?
Yeah, A-frame, we're still here.
Are you going all the way to Hayward, or you want to divert to Ukiah?
I actually turned south already. We're going to cut short a little bit, but I can divert if you need to.
Yeah, I'm having autopilot issues here. We might cut the corner into Eureka.
I see. Back to Ukiah.
I'm sorry, yeah, Ukiah, UKI.
Yep, we got it. I'll head there.
Roger. Alright, let's do a diversion. We'll go direct to Ukiah, direct to. We're going to do a little bit of a diversion, chat. That's all right. This is actually, so I didn't plan this stop, obviously, but real world, I actually flew. We would stop at Ukiah on the way down to Hayward. Try the A button. Nothing. It's this switch right here. Something there must be something preventing me from engaging it. Now, the problem with Sim Update 2 is I'm kind of just using profiles that I have for other airplanes too. Because trying to bind full profiles in Sim Update 2 is maddening with the amount of time you have to wait between entering something and waiting for it to pop up. So there is a high potential that something that I have bound, perhaps on the Bravo like JJ, it's always the Bravo. I feel like whenever this happens, it's mostly the Bravo has like a hidden keybind or something that's activating the autopilot to get issues. So, but I mean, we're just gonna heck, half the airplanes I flew didn't have autopilot anyway, so it's not the end of the world. I'm 99% sure it's a hardware issue, but this is good. We could do we're doing hand flying. You can see how good it hand flies actually, how nice it trims out, and we'll do a little diversion here into Ukiah. So it'll be a shorter stream, but that works out because I need to get back anyway. Yeah, so JJ, I normally always start with a blank profile and just bind as I go, right? But because of the lag in Sim Update 2, I just don't do it. I'm like, I'm just going to copy over. So I'm pretty sure I'm using the Duke profile right now, the Duke turbine profile. And everything else seemed to work, but I can almost guarantee you it's something with that. Migs, what's going on, my man? Good to see you, dude. We just started a shallow descent. We're going to cut our flight short. We're headed into Ukiah Municipal Airport now. I wish you could put the default 530. Man, I hope if AnyBuilds or whoever the dev was that was working with AnyBuilds for this, man, if we could get a default 530 in here, that would be the way to go. Because I think the 530, I'm partial to the 530 too, but I feel like the working title 530 or the default 530 is a little bit more functional than this one here. But if you have the payware TDS PMS, I mean, you can use them. You go to the options, you got the PMS GTN, TDS GTN. So I'm just using the Dovo because I don't have the other ones installed. Yeah, FS Flight. Yeah, the option is only for those, for the GTNs. There's no 530 option. Holden, that's what I was looking for. An electric auto trim switch somewhere. I was not able to find it. I've looked all over this panel for, like, I know exactly what you're talking about, like a master electric trim switch, right? These are all cowl flaps here. Nose trim, roll trim. No, man, there's no manual or, no pitch trim thing. This doesn't even give me distance on this thing. Destination change UKI. Direct enter. We'll take it down here about 5,000. We'll level off. We need to come left in the valley. We'll just do a little flying out to the left here. We'll trim her out 5,000. Let's take heading 120. Get a little bit of turbulence now over these mountains as we descended down. I like Ukiah. Autopilot isn't trimming, then is that the issue? I don't know, Migs. I really don't know what the issue is. JJ, you sent me a picture of a glass cockpit of this? No. Get out of here with that glass cockpit, man. No one needs any glass cockpit. Oh yeah, look, we're getting bumped around pretty good now. How far from Ukiah am I? I couldn't tell you. But I'll flip the nav. And I can tell you... Nope, we're not getting nav 1. not getting any DME either. But I could definitely see us freight running in this bird. Definitely see it. I kind of want to show you guys a little bit of the cabin here without crashing. So yeah, it's cool that we've got the freight in here. We've got our suitcases, our pilot bags are all in here, loaded up with the cargo. Now you can change this to, like, you've probably seen the pictures, the oil spill response and all this other stuff where they have computers and stuff. It is very customizable. And when we get on the ground too, I'll show you a couple of the ground connection stuff. I just see a classic undiagnosed cockpit gremlin, then nothing to see here. Yeah, exactly. Just a classic undiagnosed. That's pretty much what it is, Biggs. But I think JJ's right. I think there's something in my hardware profile preventing the autopilot to engage. And because of Sim Update 2 headache of binding, I don't want to take the time to find it. It'll take 20 minutes to find two separate things with the delay. I'm sitting in the back of the cargo and I just took a gummy. Jeez. What's up, Halo? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn my LOD way up. Just run VFR. Hold on, let's do that real quick. Hold on, immersion ruined. Trust me though, you'll like this. We gotta do. It was such a fast stream. It's between streams, I forgot to put my GA settings back on. Is the Duke the GOAT? Of course, Benny. In my opinion, it is. So this is usable in career mode? Mix, it will be. Yeah, this is going to be fully career mode compatible, which is a really cool thing. I've kind of stopped flying career mode because we can't really do much. Our PC-12 still has oxygen problems. The PC-24 has been, a PC-24. And the caravan missions are you're just so slow. But look at this. We're crushing it right here. 180 knots. We're at I say conservative. We're at 1300 RP, 1300 torque. So we're not even running at full tilt, and we're doing almost 200 indicated. So this would definitely help with the those medium cargo missions. And watching it get dirty and stuff over time, I think is going to be cool. Like I said, this airplane, I think we get a couple patches in here. I think they need to, if we can work on maybe the startup a little bit. I don't know if there's something going on with the NG hanging at 40%. If that should at least get up to, I think it should at least get into the green, right? Get up there at 50%. And then I'm not going to say the autopilot issue because I don't believe it's an airplane issue. I believe it's a me issue. Virtual Flight Diaries, thank you for the 16 months support. Says, is the two artificial horizons sitting next to each other? It seems weird. Yeah, you got 1 and 2. I would have thought they would have put it like over here or down here, and then maybe move this over here, put the DME over here. But if you're flying IMC. And that attitude indicator starts to go and you don't recognize it right away, it's pretty dangerous. So maybe that was their thought process on it. I'm not sure. Which Duke do you recommend if I want to buy? Turbine or piston? Benny? Man, we get that question a lot, and it's just all I say is whichever one you think you like more. So the piston Duke requires more management. Right, there's more finagling with getting the piston engines to run. There's more finagling with the power available and your performance and stuff. It's extremely powerful, but it's not like having two PT6s. Now you can go a little bit higher and a little bit faster in the piston. With the piston, you also get two variants. You get the Grand Duke, and you also get the regular Duke. The turbine, you just get the turbine, but that thing is like, you never have to worry about performance, whether it's fully loaded, short fields, high density altitude. You never have to worry about that. And it's much more easy to manage, right? It's a PT6. So spin it up, power on, and you're good to go, man. Alright, so Ukiah is going to be the next valley. We'll maintain 4,500 here. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was right down here. Maintain 4,500 feet. Trim her back out. Yeah, JJ, a little darker on the contrast on the panel. I agree with you, man. I wonder, JJ, I wonder how much of that can be tweaked, you know, if livery guys start making liveries for the airplane. Let's run some Friday power here. Let's run 1,400. We'll run it up to the amber line there. I liked our ride much better at 9,000 feet, man. It was smooth. A lot smoother than this. I don't know, I just love the way it looks too. There's something about this, the look of this airplane that just, like, I like it. Can we open the window? I mean, get some air in here. That would be extremely loud. Nope, I haven't checked out the CRJ, Aaron. I really don't have an interest in the CRJ, to be honest with you. I heard it's good, though. I heard it's good. Holden says, I don't want to be annoying, but Professor Google says electric trim is supposed to be on the left arm panel. That's the only thing I find. Thank you, Holden. You're not annoying, man. Let me see. I think that's what we said, right? The left arm panel. And this one right here. Avionics AC. It's not any of these. I'll just turn. That's windshield. Propeller. Let's see. Nope. I think this is the switch it's referring to. But the way it's behaving, I don't think it's. I think it's a binding conflict. That's what it is.
You can traffic here in November 646 Southwest. You were going to be entering the pattern on the downwind for 15.
That Ukiah traffic and flight 202. We're going straight in 15 behind the Learjet. We're still a good, I don't know, 25 miles out. Alright, so we'll set 15 course line for the runway. Yeah, I know where I'm at now. This is cool. Heck, we can even turn this off. So it's the little lake right here. A little visual reporting point. We'll follow this road. This looks so real. I mean, it's been over 10 years since I've flown around through. Maybe long. It's been longer than that, like maybe 14, 15 years. I don't even know. But I remember this, man. This is exactly what it looked like. This is crazy cool. We'll kind of dogleg into the valley here. We'll do a Magic Barrel ref update. If I look at Ukiah, there's the Learjet. As arrival, info elevation is 600 feet. So 1600 will be pattern altitude. We'll be looking for that Learjet. We'll get all our lights on here.
Ukiah traffic, we can let that flying box car go first if you want. We see you off our 10 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. If you want to give way, that's fine. We'll pedal them as fast as we can here. We're doing 200 knots. All right, thanks. Yeah, if you want, that'll work for us. We're pedaling as fast as we can here, about 190 knots.
Yeah, that's good. I got to slow down anyway, so I'll follow you in.
Sounds good, thanks. All right, so he's got us in sight. We're going to straight in 15. Keep trimming this out here. Biggs, thank you for the super chat, man. Hold on, let me find my auto feather. Auto feather is armed. Couldn't go one stream without saying it, could you? I couldn't, Miggs. I couldn't. Real life indeed, my man. Thrustset, what's up, man? How you doing? V1, it was an honor to meet you at the FS Expo. Can't wait to see you next year at Expo. I'll be looking for the cowboy hat. Ryan Jones, man, absolutely, dude. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed meeting all y'all, taking photos and hanging out with y'all. It was a fantastic experience. Glad you enjoyed the Expo. I do look forward to the next one, man. Minneapolis. Big cowboy hats everywhere. All right, there's the field, 12 o'clock. Let's go ahead and start slowing up. Great thing about the PT6, look, no stage cooling. Bring her back. Man, those props go into disc. Look at the speed come back. Is it that rapid? I'm not sure. So potentially some drag adjustments required in future. I don't know though. I mean, I don't know if it's that rapid. You see how fast the speed dropped off there? You got traffic, Amplify 202. About a 8-mile dog-legged final here for runway 15. Thanks again, Mick. Appreciate the super chat, dude. Fud Life, what's up, bud? Says next year I'm definitely going to Expo. Already have a cowboy hat. All right. Cowboy hats all around, baby. It's more in the St. Pete or St. Paul side of Minneapolis, unfortunately. Oh, really, Tyson? Is that where it is? I actually have no idea where the Expo is actually going to be held. Other than I'll be flying into MSP and I'll be getting some Angel Food donuts. The difference between a thrust lever and the blue lever. The blue lever is your propeller pitch. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain right now, but throw the gear. Basically, it's going to adjust the angle of attack of your propeller blades for the optimum position for your current state of flight. So if you're in high RPM, full forward, takeoff, landing, when you're up in cruise, the airplane's going faster, you want to get some drag, reduce some drag on the props, bring the props back, you also get the noise down a little bit as well. Flaps coming in, flaps 2. Remember, the flaps are pretty slow. Looking for that blue line. Forgot to get replay going. I don't have time to get replay going. Flaps full coming in, looking for about 110 knots here. Or 2 whites, 2 reds. See what I mean about the pitch attitude? Like I can't even see over the nose. I wonder if it's an illusion with this nose here. All right, on final, we're gonna land like I used to land the 99s. We'll leave the props back. That'll be our first touchdown, props full forward and then reverse.
Hey, Sky traffic, Lear 646 Southwest, you're about 5 miles for L15.
Sounds in reverse, they don't really change all that much. Let's get it out of reverse because he's coming up behind us. Let's get the air on. Missed that one taxiway. Traffic Amplify 202, clear runway 15, taxi the ramp. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and get some other things off here. Let's see, you're coming off, taxi can stay on, landing light, auto feather. Oh no, that's the motor starter. We don't want that. Auto feather is off. Avionics master switch. Actually, we'll leave those on since we got traffic. Zach Lewine says, I gotta say props are so much more fun to fly than airliners, 100%. And the streams are better too. Man, I love prop flying, man. I've toyed with the idea of just doing making a V2 channel really and doing all propeller driven aircraft or something like that, but I don't really see if there's gonna be a benefit with that. Oh, here he comes. There's a Learjet. Ooh. Ooh. Man, Lear 35. I need to get that. I need to get my Lear 35 working. Is he gonna stop? Yeah, he's gonna stop. Full reverse. I missed the Lear 35. I'll tell you what. We'll take it here. We'll park it. Oh, we'll look at some of the exterior door functions. You know what? Look, I just noticed this. Oh, you can't do it from this camera. I can see the pitch change on the propeller discs. Watch the propeller discs here. Maybe it's just not, man. It's just the animation. I thought I could see the disc change here. It's trying. All right, park brake is set. Taxi light anti-collision stays on. Fuel boosts are off. Auto feather is off. Avionics, that's coming off. Those are coming off. Auto feather is off. Let's go ahead. Idle cutoff. Feather. A little bit quick on that for sure. Generators, ignition, and pull this up, bring you here. Let's go to ground, main door, emergency exit. I want to open it all up. I want to just see. Pitot covers, chocks, engine exhaust. Oh, wow. Look at that thing. You grew up near the Bay and Woodside near the OSI VOR, Migs? Nice, dude. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's actually a cool shot. I'm going to take a screenshot. That's cool. On the wing of the... that's actually really cool. I'm going to do it in drone view here. Air Force de Brazil. Very cool. Oh, Thrust said he grew up in the Woodside by. Oh yeah, yeah. OSI VOR, man. Back in the day, tracking those VORs out here. We're gonna have to do a whole freight series. Go over all my old freight routes, real time from the time that I flew them in the sim. I'm getting spam call now too. All right. Well, we didn't have our replay armed, but that was a quick and dirty first look at the F404. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I think we get a couple of little patches in here, knock out some of these bugs, maybe kind of work on a little bit of the sound blending, just a little bit of the blending sounds. Hand flying it is fun. I got to say, it's unique. The pitch attitudes, or at least the illusion of the pitch attitude with the super long nose, it feels like you're going to land on your tail the whole time, the way that the optical illusion is with that long nose out there. But I mean, it's different. It's so unique. I mean, like I said, it's not a study level black square type of GA bird, but it's fun to fly. Its sounds are decent, and the exterior sounds I really enjoy. So I look forward to flying this in the in career mode for sure. And I'm curious to see what kind of updates they push to kind of polish up a few things. But as it sits right now, I like it. I'm having fun with it, and I look forward to flying it here on a career mode very, very soon. So that's my final verdict, and I believe it's not. I don't believe it's actually out yet, or is it? But I mean, just a handful of updates. I think we'll have something here pretty darn cool. So that's it. That's all she wrote. Lear is better, says Vodka. I got to get the Lear going, man. I got to get the Lear going. I missed the Lear. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to head home. I got some things I need to take care of this evening. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this afternoon. We had a double stream set up. If you are still wanting to watch some flying content, I believe Full Flap Sim is live right now over on his channel. Let me take a look real quick. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's already airborne. Did he lose an engine yet? No, he didn't lose an engine. But if you want some more NG content, go check him out. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe. And that's it. We'll wrap it up here. Y'all been awesome. Thank you all for the support. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. Stealthy on V1. Soup!
This is our show.